good. How many of you dislike your jobs? I was afraid of that. I didn't think, this is a confident group. You guys have good career paths. I used to hate my job. I was a certified nursing assistant in El Cajon, California, near San Diego. And it wasn't that bad of a job. I was living with a quadriplegic man. I had free rent, free groceries, and I was making like $250 a month. But it was just like physically I couldn't do it. Every day I had to wake up Mark, his name, pull him out of bed, put him in a wheelchair, get him dressed, get him in the shower. Not in that order, but it was just really daunting. And I was just like, after about 4 months, my body was just shot. My back, everything was going out. And actually, the other guy that helped me was a rugby player from Fiji Islands, so he was massive. And I was this little scrawny guy, like I could barely get Mark out of bed. So, like about 4 months into it, I realized that, man, this is not a long-term solution here. I need to get out of this job. And I felt bad about it because he was a friend of mine. But my grandmother, she sent me an email saying she checked out a job at Club Med. And so I didn't know anything about it. So I went on their website, www.clubmedjobs.com, and I read a little bit about them. They have single and family villages in Florida, Cancun, Brazil, all over the world. And it's a French company, and there's, I think, 90 villages all over the world. And it's all inclusive, which you have sports, kids clubs, and also nightly entertainment. And the difference between Club Med and other hotels is that in Club Med, we have the concept of the GO, which is Gentil Organisateur. In English, that means gracious host or organizer. And so, normally when you go to a hotel, you're not the only time you interact with the staff is you tell them how you want your eggs cooked or bring my luggage up to my room, and that's it. But in Club Med, you basically are taking a week-long vacation with people you've never met before, and it's a really strange thing. So the first day of work, I did my first 4 hours, and I had to go, and I was a GO, so I had to go down to have lunch with the guests of the hotel. So I got my plate, I got all my food on my plate, and I got seated at a table. And there was a guest sitting at the table. He introduced himself. Hi, I'm Bush from Seattle. I introduced myself, and I sat down, and I started eating, and I was totally, like, I had to be the guy's friend, but I didn't know the guy, so I had no idea what I was supposed to do in the situation. So I'm just eating. I'm trying to get my meal down as quickly as I can and just get out of there, because I was very uncomfortable. And like a minute later, his wife comes to the table. She sits down, and she looks in the middle of the table, and there's a bottle of wine in the middle of the table, and the bottle of wine is half empty. So she looks at her husband and she says, "Butch, who drank half the bottle of wine?" Butch, I think it's a little guy. Butch, he looks at me and he says, "Let's see if Brian knows anything about who drank the bottle of wine." And he gives me a little wink, and so that was my cue. I said, and then I confessed to his wife that, yeah, it was me. I drank half a bottle of wine while you were kind of like getting your lunch all together. I'm sorry. I'll get you guys another bottle of wine, no problem. And so Butch was my best friend after that moment, after I covered for him with his wife. So during that week, I didn't know anyone in the hotel, and Butch kind of like, he went out of his way, and I think he introduced me to every female in the hotel, which is about 400 or so. It was a very, very interesting week, and the guy, he was like my lifelong buddy, and I knew the guy for like a week, so it was really fun. And I ended up staying in Club Med for like 2 years, and I worked in Ixtapa, and I also worked in Dominican Republic. And yeah, it's a really cool job, and I ended up speaking Spanish, becoming a rollerblade instructor, and eventually I wrote a book about it called Single Broad, Tales of a Boyish Man, and it's all about jobs I've done everywhere in Mexico, Ecuador, Dominican Republic, Spain, Colombia, and just kind of like, it's a book about just like career paths and how you can kind of like, if you're in a corner and you kind of like want to like get out a little bit and try something new, kind of gives you different options of how to do it, and very cheaply. And actually, Jim, he saw me in the paper this week, and there's actually a book signing for the book at Cafe Flow, Tuesday, August 25th, so next week. And Cafe Flow is behind the movie theater, The Pageant, and it's welcome to all the Toastmasters if you guys want to stop by. There'll be books on sale. You'll be chatting with you out there, and I'm going to sign books, so hopefully some people come to it. And I have these flyers that I'll hand out after Toastmasters if you guys want more information, and it has all the time.